Ladies and gentlemen, from the capital city of Georgetown, Guyana, the land of many waters in South America, please welcome Lady Wendy.
Hello, hello. Oh, today we have a great program for you. Today we're going to talk about investments, foreign companies that are coming to Guyana. As you know, the oil industry is something that is being talked by every Guyanese in here, in the audience, you out there, all over the world. Because you know what? For years since I was a young girl, you would hear Guyana has all the natural resources, and every day it's coming to light. Most recently, we found oil, and from all prediction, 2020 is the year to look out for. So are you Guyanese preparing for the influx of visitors, foreigners who are coming? We want to start having this conversation. So today we have in our audience, and also our guest speaker who will be joining me shortly, we have the Chambers of Commerce. We have the CEO, Richard Ramkaran, who will be speaking on what the Chambers of Commerce does. And we also have the Vice President, Nicholas Digu, and he will also tell you a little bit about what they're doing to make sure that their memberships are intact. So sit back, we'll be right back.
Now you can get all the latest products you want, electronics, fashion, furniture from anywhere in the world with internet shopping at Aeropost through World Mall Guyana. You'll need to register with Aeropost and have a credit or debit card account. If you don't have one, come into our office and use ours for just 10% of the product cost. Call 223-3061. Select your products. Pay for them via credit card. We'll ship to Guyana and handle customs brokerage. We can also deliver if you so desire, or you can come into our office and collect. www.aeropost.com. Aeropost. Enjoy the thrill of internet shopping.
Oh, well. Thanks for staying with us. Today we have a great show for you. I know Guyanese in the audience and in the viewing audience, you are probably lots of talk in the last couple of years, or within the last year, at least I've been hearing it. All this talk about foreign investment, foreigners coming into Guyana, oil. I mean, I'm sure you've been reading the local media telling you about what to expect in 2020. So today we're going to try to examine and look at what's really going on so that you can have a better sense and have you prepare for when we have, I call the good days are coming, or the boom, because with such a small population, we know with the prediction of over 120,000 barrels per day, that's a lot of oil. So that should be a lot of ka-ching, ka-ching. So joining me right now, we have the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce, two gentlemen that is sitting here with me. The CEO of that is Mr. Richard Rankaran, and the Vice President of that association, Mr. Nicholas Digo. So welcome. Welcome, gentlemen.
Welcome. Thank you for having me.
Okay, well, let's talk. First of all, for persons who don't know, can you explain, Richard, for me, what is the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce mandate? What is it that you do?
Wonderful. Well, I'm glad that we started there because a lot of persons seem to have some misconceptions and such to like. But the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce is a private sector umbrella organization, also known as a business support organization, that essentially lends voice to the private sector. We have a large membership, over 200 plus members of companies from differing sectors, companies of all sizes, and we conduct regular meetings, we have representation, we participate in different forums, etc., essentially to lend the voice of the private sector to different aspects of development in Guyana.
So, tell me, Nicholas, for example, if I am running a small business, what criteria do I have to meet to be a part of the Chambers of Commerce?
Excellent question. So, the Chamber has several different categories of membership because we have a wide cross-section of members who are a part of chamber. Everything from large corporations to very small and micro enterprises. At the smallest end of the membership categories, you would need to have your NIS compliance, your TIN number, and some amount of your articles of incorporation and formation documents. But that's what we would require as a initial member in the smallest category. I think it's a category D.
Yes.
Okay, so you, in other words, for you who are business owners out there, you would recommend that it's something, because if you're come as a collective, when you're going to, let's say you talk to the banks and you're showing that you're a member of the Chambers of Commerce, it shows a little bit of prestige. Would we consider something under that, or?
Yeah, so the key thing that the chamber does, it will help you improve in how you do business and who you do business with, because it's going to force you to improve on certain things yourself, but it's also going to put you within a network that you're going to meet other people.
Yeah.
So in terms of, let's look at the example you just put out there, is that you're applying for a loan at the bank. Well, hopefully through your interactions, through your networking, you have met loan officers who will help you get your paperwork in order beforehand. But you also, through interactions or seminars and trainings that the chamber puts on regularly, would have learned how to do your paperwork yourself and have yourself ready. And then you have the prestige factor that when you sit down and say that you are a member of the chamber, the loan officer says, yes, well, you know, this business is going somewhere.
Right.
Well, now, the hot topic. Foreigners are coming. How are you preparing your membership for these influx of businesses? Because, you know, I wouldn't want to say competitive, but how are they? Are you having discussions to your membership at large, whether through newsletters, whether through whatever medium you use to inform them as to how do they prepare for the influx of foreigners that are coming? Because I get the sense that a lot of people are worried about that.
Excellent question.
Nicholas.
So, I mean, I could say definitely a lot of our members have come to us with that question, and also an expanded part of that question is how can they participate in the oil and gas industry? So if I can cover both together, which is how would they deal with expanded competition and new emerging sectors? Well, what the chamber is doing is, first, let's talk about fostering connections. We have formed new strategic partnerships with other organizations to get more information and to broaden the horizons of our members. We are putting on seminars and discussion groups and forums. We are getting let's say, experts on various topics to come in and talk to our members and disseminate information. And then we're having networking events with some of the larger companies and new emerging companies within certain sectors. And then you have the trade shows where the chamber, for instance, at the recently concluded Petroleum Expo, the chamber had a booth where members could have come and participated in that expo through the chamber's booth. So through these methods, we are trying to get our members ready for the new, let's call it the Guyana 2.0.
Okay.
The oil and gas sector is something which is new here in Guyana, and strategic partnerships are very important for improving exponentially the rate at which you move along the learning curve. So strategic partnerships is one of the things which the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce has really been focusing on. We have a number of memorandum of understanding with other private sector umbrella organizations. So when we speak about foreign investment and companies coming here, part and parcel of how we open up our arms to receive those companies is to ensure that we have strategic partnerships so that our companies here can learn from companies who have been in this business for quite some time.
Okay.
And just to add a little more mundane piece to Richard's answer is that the chamber has traditionally done seminars in topics such as marketing, customer service, and leadership, which have been very popular and well received. And those are activities that we're going to continue to do because our membership has shown interest in it. So hopefully with those the strategic partnerships, the seminars, and pushing of information, we push the level of customer service, because that's what you started out on, up and improved, I should say, so that our local businesses are able to compete and show a good face to all the new or the international visitors, for instance.
Okay, and I like what you said about strategic partnership, because we just made contact with the Canadian Embassy, because I know they've been very, very active. And they were mentioning that there's about 4 companies within Guyana who are partnership with Canadian companies who will be providing training. So for those who don't know, please check, please read, find out what's happening, because the oil and gas, as you know, because I myself was involved, we don't have the skills training. Are you concerned at all of all the influx of companies coming? Is the Chambers concerned coming to Guyana? Are you concerned that businesses may get pushed aside, or no? Yes or no?
Well, let's first start with the topic of local content. If we don't have a very strong local content policy, and from the Chamber's perspective, we would like a legislation, then you would have the fear, and some of our, or at least a decent portion of our members, have expressed a fear that they could get pushed aside. That's why we look very fervently at the headlines coming out about what's happening with the local content policy as its current state. And we hope that if that policy is enacted and it is, it really does what it needs to do in giving Guyanese businesses a chance to supply to this industry, then our members will do well, and they won't have that fear. That fear will be allayed. But without that strong policy,
And this is just personally, how do you actually feel that we've now found oil, and are you looking forward to 2020?
I am looking forward to 2020, but I think it's important to understand it within the context of what we have here in Guyana. We're dealing with infrastructural deficit. We're dealing with institutions which need improving. We're dealing with a culture of doing business which is not in tandem with what the oil and gas sector usually has. So I tell people I expect a couple of things coming out of the oil and gas industry, specifically 2 things. One, I expect some spillover effects in terms of our quality and standards that we do business here with. And the other thing which I really hope comes on stream is the infrastructural improvement, but not just physical infrastructure. I'm talking here about financial infrastructure, of course our physical infrastructure. I'm talking here about technological improvement. So whilst many people have this, some grandiose expectations, if you will, about when this oil and gas comes on stream, I think understanding that our country has other areas and other sectors and other aspects and dimensions which need improvement, I can only hope that the culture which comes along with oil and gas spills over into those industries to allow for a holistic development.
Well, I want to thank you, gentlemen, for coming. And
so much for having us.
I'm sure I'll have you back on the program, because this is just the beginning. Thank you.
Hi, we are here today at the City Mall, Regent and Campbell Street at the heart of Georgetown, trying to find out how Guyanese people feel about the recent discovery of oil in Guyana, and also how Guyanese feel about foreign investors coming to Guyana to invest. All right, let's go. The first question is, how do you feel about the fact that Guyana recently discovered oil?
Well, as most individuals, it's good to hear we have something to bring in some income for us.
Very good.
Yeah.
Okay, second question. How do you feel about the fact that so many foreign companies are coming to invest in Guyana, for example, like on Regent Street, where you see a lot of companies, like, for example, Chinese companies?
Well, for instance, it's not bad because they're bringing in income and revenue for the country.
And jobs.
Yes, and job for the individual, because if you check most Chinese stores, they have females working and stuff, and that's good.
Yeah.
And I don't see a problem with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the fact that Guyana recently discovered oil?
It's a very good prospect, man. It's a lot of big growth I expect to be happening here right now. That's one of the reasons you find me coming down more often. Guyana is looking more better every day.
Okay, second question. How do you feel about the fact there's so many foreign companies are investing into Guyana. For example, like on Regent Street, there's so many different foreign companies investing here.
You know, if we can't do it, somebody's got to do it, right? So hopefully some of the benefits and the wealth gets trickled down.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping. A lot of these people get jobs and things. That's a good thing.
Yeah, very good thing.
So I'm looking forward to a lot of good growth in Guyana.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure a lot of people are very optimistic.
Yeah, all right.
Especially with our leadership.
Yeah, definitely. Quick question. The question is, how do you feel about the recent oil discovery in Guyana?
It's great for the country, but with proper management, I think we could go successfully.
Okay. All right. Second question. How do you feel about the fact that a lot of foreign companies are investing in Guyana, for the fact that like Regent Street has so many foreign businesses, for example, like the Chinese businesses?
It's good, but I think more local companies, they can get involved with it as well. I mean, it shouldn't be for foreign persons alone, but for the locals as well.
All right. Thanks, Abhinav. How do you feel about the recent discovery of oil in Guyana?
Well, as a Guyanese, I feel good because I mean it's a good thing for the country in terms of economic development. So I think it's going to push start the country in a positive way, and other countries will get to recognize us as finally as a country, a small country.
Yes.
Where in terms of
Yeah.
so.
Okay. Second question. How do you feel about the fact that so many foreign companies are coming to invest in Guyana? For example, like on Regent Street, the Chinese businesses being so prevalent.
I don't have a problem with Chinese, if it's Englishman or Americans. Once it's a positive, something positive for the country, right? It doesn't matter if the person is Chinese or whatever. Once it's something positive is good for the country, I think it's
You welcome them to invest
yes,
in Guyana?
course, yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right, cool.
Actually, I never really focus too much on that. Well, it doesn't really matter to me because the whole government thing is all corrupt and crap, so I don't really focus on it.
Okay. All right. Second and last question. For the fact that so many foreign businesses are invested in Guyana, for example, Regent Street and different ethnicities, and you see, like for example, Chinese. How do you feel about the fact that that's happening?
Well, for the Chinese, we understand from Chinese in their country, some of them get hard times to come over here to get a better life than they get me. But all these Brazilians and all these people coming over in the country and just rearranging all these different things, it's nah, meeting. I prefer seeing my own race, where people in here, give your own business plan, because other people come. Your business when you work with them now, you got going through a whole headache. And I don't really like the idea of that.
Yeah. All right. The first question is, how do you feel about the recent oil discovery in Guyana?
I think it's good, and I trust that it will do well for our country and develop it because we really, really need it. And I trust that it would not be concentrated in one area, but it's going to be shared among everybody so everybody can benefit.
Yeah. Nice. Me too. I hope that happens. The second question is, how do you feel about the fact that so many foreign companies are investing into Guyana, like Regent Street with all the Chinese businesses, for example?
Well, it's good, yes, but I trust that everybody will get a chance, especially the locals. I mean, in terms of the Chinese, you find like most of the products are more cheap. But with the local, if they're doing their thing, they can compete with them. And because of the cost that they're selling at, I feel like most of them are going out of business because they find it hard to compete with the Chinese. I don't know.
Do you think that's good or bad for Guyana?
In terms of the businessmen, it's not good.
I feel it is good for Guyanese, because it means that more Guyanese can get exposure in terms of studying the oil and gas sector, and it can open the scope for employment in that area.
Yeah. Okay. Second question. How do you feel about the fact that so many foreign companies are investing in Guyana, like for example on Regent Street with a lot of Chinese businesses being opened?
To me, it gives Guyana, it puts Guyana in tourism generally. So many persons would not have known of Guyana until now.
Yeah.
Based on the oil discovery and so on.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Welcome back again. Wow, those videos that you've just seen, where we've just take the pulse of the people on the streets of Georgetown, finding out how do they feel, how are they preparing, because the excitement is starting to be felt, and as such, we want to do a lot of talk about As foreigners come, how do Guyanese prepare for them? How do they prepare for training? How do they prepare for job, customer service, the tourism? I'm predicting there are gonna be a wealth of jobs that are going to be created. And as such, I'm excited, and that's one of the reasons that I wanted to have this show, so that we can start the conversation right there in your living room. Let's start talking. What is affecting you? Talk to your local government, talk to your politician, whoever it is that you want to talk to. Find out what's going on so that you don't get left out. And that said, I just have joining me here Allison Butters Grant. I believe she's no stranger to you. I'll let Allison tell you about herself, but one thing that I like when I read about Allison is that she's the first Black woman to start a seafood export business or seafood producing company. And if I say something wrong, I'll let her say exactly. Welcome, Allison. Thanks for coming to the Lady Wendy show.
Yeah, thank you. I like that, Lady Wendy. In New York, we've got Wendy Williams.
Okay. Well, she's a lot further ahead than I am.
Don't worry. You're our Lady Wendy.
That's right. Thank you. Okay. So tell me about yourself. Just a brief synopsis of
I've got so much to talk about.
I know.
Yes, well, I own a fish processing company.
Okay.
I grew up in the fishing industry. My parents would have owned trawlers, and among other businesses. So I grew up wanting to be an entrepreneur, not realizing, the risk that's involved until you get into it and you say, wow, is it this hard? My parents were working so I could I had a good life. But I love what I do.
Okay.
And it's important, as I tell people, if you want to do something that you like.
Okay.
Don't try to copy somebody else.
Okay.
It's harder.
Mm-hmm.
But if you do what you like, it doesn't even feel like work.
Okay. The question that this show is all about tonight is about foreign investments, foreigners coming to Guyana. Who would you say is your major competitors here in Guyana?
Well, there are lots of other companies that are in the fishing industry. We've got a couple of companies that are larger than we are.
Okay.
But it's all about growth. I'm pretty sure they were where my company was when they started.
Okay.
So what, as the Chief Executive Officer of Global Seafood Distributors, we do a lot of innovation.
Okay.
And as someone coming back from a first world, I work on transcending what I would have been exposed to.
Okay.
Into what we do at Global
and
Seafood
that's the
Distributors.
Plus.
In product processing, I went out, I got a certificate from Cornell University in good manufacturing practices.
Okay.
We had a EU-funded grant.
Okay.
Where we had a consultant come in and do capacity building with our staff. So we continue to do capacity building and training in product, in the standard of what we deliver. We pride ourselves in saying we eat what we sell.
Eat what you sell.
Yes, correct.
I like that, and hold that thought. Tell me, in terms of the foreign companies, because I know that they're Chinese are big on the seafood internationally. And I believe, I'm not sure, but don't quote me on this, that I was told that they're also looking at Guyana to do bigger things in terms of seafood. Are you worried about that in terms of competitiveness?
Well, what I'm happy about is that our policymakers are the ones who would have to be responsible for issuing license to foreign investors who would have an interest in the seafood industry. So taking into consideration the type of vessels they might be coming with, I'm pretty sure they would decide as to the direction that they would want to head in without disrupting the trade for the local stakeholders, which would be our small fisher folks, our artisanal fisher folks. So Of course, you'll be thinking
No,
about the
what's the
infiltration of any large foreign company coming in here to
Okay.
infiltrate of fishery zones.
Okay. And to wrap up now, would you say, is it positive or negative with all these foreign investors coming to Ghana? As you see it, as a positive or a negative?
I think it's a positive, because why I say it's a positive, because the local companies will have to understand that if you do not come up to standard with your product, and all the foreigners that are coming in to Guyana to work and to live with their families, if they cannot find quality product, they will bring their own, or they would even manufacture their own.
Okay.
So I don't look at it as a negative. For instance, my company, we continue to raise the bar.
Okay.
Like I would have shown you the type of advertising
That you're
we're
doing.
using.
Oh, yes, yes. I saw that. That's very nice.
Correct. And so even with our packaging, we've raised it. We're doing packaging, we're doing media outreaches. So local companies will have to invest.
So it tells me right off the bat that you are preparing, you're competitive, bringing your North American experience, and with your incentive, having grown up in this industry, that you don't have anything to worry about. A matter of fact, I see with the foreigners coming, you're seeing your cash register, ka-ching, ka-ching, is going to be happening, because with more people coming and you do support the local economy,
No,
it
of
would mean more
course,
business for
because-
you, and seafood is quite the thing nowadays.
No, definitely. And as our consumers overseas become more educated as to what they're eating, the standard would have to raise. We've noticed the Americans, they're working on their food bill, new FSMA rules.
Oh,
you
okay.
know.
Okay.
So therefore, if we want to export to the United States or
Anywhere
Europe,
else.
even Europe standards are higher than the U.S. standards.
Okay.
So therefore, my voice to the general populace who are manufacturing or making any type of product is to educate yourself on the product you're making.
Wonderful.
Use Google as your best friend.
Yes.
And see what's happening in the outer world outside of Guyana, because now the world is flat. You don't have to leave Guyana to go to the U.S. or to
Right,
go to
exactly.
England
It's-
to see what's happening.
You can
Everything
just-
is electronically.
That's right. Well, I thank you very much for coming and being at the Lady Wendy show. Good luck, and I'm looking forward to seeing you and hearing and reading about you. I'm very, very proud that you've come and you've made it back to Guyana, and you're taking on an industry that not too many women are in, and so I'm very proud of you.
At Gaffurs, we're now offering etch design mirrors and glasses. Our state-of-the-art machinery can engrave any design from 12 inches by 12 inches to 24 inches by 48 inches. And this product is perfect for memento and memorial plaques, branding or sponsorship, or as a gift item to show that someone how special he or she is. You can have your design mirrors dressed with metallic finish frames or polished edges for a more modern look. Come into any one of our branches to choose from our range of designs, or bring your own design and have your customized mirrors made within 7 working days. Gaffurs, the name you can trust.
Hi. Thanks. We have come to the end of the show. We would like to thank our sponsors, and a special thanks to Ramswood Furniture and to our guests from the Chambers of Commerce that were here tonight, and of course, Alison Grandbutters from Global Seafood Processing. I'd like to thank her for coming down and having that discussion. And you, the audience out there, we want to remind you that next week our show will be on love in the sense of matchmaking. If you're looking for that special someone, do call our office or visit our website, ladywendyshow.com, and meet that special someone. See you and have a good day. Oh, and one other thing, you do win up to $10,000 if you're part of our studio audience. So you don't want to miss out. Have a good day. And remember to share a smile with someone today.
Is your business experiencing slow traffic? Then it's time you turn to advertising. Advertising works. If you don't already have a video ad for your business for us to use, we can help you put it together. For more information, email info@ladywendyshow.com.